What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome to TRU Raider Podcast. I'm your host, TRU Raider. Now, it is official. Matthew Stafford is off the market. Now, I put out a video this morning talking about Matthew Stafford, and what it came down to is after the whole thing happened where Tom Brady hosted Matthew Stafford for a skiing trip, there's all these negotiations that happened where they came to an agreement for a contract which would be $90 to $100 million. All the reports went out. Then it was reported this morning that Matthew Stafford was going to go into the Rams building today to negotiate on that side. And it was believed that they were probably not going to match it, and they were going to then move forward to discussing what trade compensation would be. And the Rams and Matthew Stafford came to an agreement, and he is going to stay in LA, which honestly, now that we got the news, isn't actually as shocking as I really thought it would be. Because, if you look at what was going on and how much time he had left on his contract, he still had 2 years left on his contract, and it kind of sounded like the Raiders and the Giants were offering him 2 years guaranteed money, and really it's in the Rams' best interest to just give him the guaranteed money. What are they going to do, roll forward with Jimmy Garoppolo? And they weren't going to get a first round pick for him. The Giants came out and said that they were not going to do it, and I don't think that the Raiders were going to give up pick number 6 to go get a Matthew Stafford. And so really it came down to that the Rams did not have a better option. They stayed with him, and it makes sense. And this kind of just goes back to my original take, which, I still believe that our best option right now is to see if Shedeur Sanders falls to number 6. I do not want to trade up for him. And picking up Aaron Rodgers as our bridge guy is honestly our best option. And a lot of people, get mad about that whenever it gets mentioned. And it's funny because those same people will say, yeah, let's stick with Aiden O'Connell, or they'll say, let's go get Matthew Stafford. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be ridiculously expensive. He's not. And then on top of that, he played better at 40 years old than Matthew Stafford did at 36, right? It's a fact. And so, he threw for 8 more touchdowns than Matthew Stafford did. Honestly, I think it's going to be our best option for a bridge, because I don't really like the idea of the other veterans that are out there. I kind of like Justin Fields, but if you look at Justin Fields, he played 6 games, he threw for 5 touchdowns. So even though he was 4-2, he only threw for 5 touchdowns. Do I think he could run a Chip Kelly offense? Yes, I do. Do I think that it's our best long-term plan? No. And I don't think he's a great bridge, honestly, either. But really, Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers are the only 2 veterans I'm really interested in. I'm not really high on Sam Darnold. The more I talk about it, the more I hear about it, the more I kind of am not. I don't know, man. He threw for 35 touchdowns, but he's had 1 good year, man. Do I think that he could do good in a Chip Kelly offense? I think he could, but I don't know, man. He's going to be expensive. Now, if it's more of a prove-it kind of deal for Sam Darnold, yeah, for sure, go get him, right? If it's cheaper than $40 million, for sure, go get him. But I have a feeling that it's going to be $40 million plus, and it's going to need to be a 3 or 4 year deal. And I don't think he's shown enough. I'm not really convinced, And so right now we're all the way back to Raiders debacle at quarterback. What's going to happen? And, we'll see what happens moving forward. We got a couple more weeks until really some legitimate things can start to happen. I think it's March 10th that officially any kind of trades or, things like that could happen. But I don't know, man. I didn't like the idea of giving up trade compensation for Matthew Stafford. I was starting to get a little bit excited about the idea of what Matthew Stafford could do in this offense, because I said it last year, we don't need a top 5 quarterback or even a top 10 quarterback necessarily, right? If we have like a top 15 quarterback that can, not make mistakes and kind of just get it done on that side of the ball, I feel like our defense is really going to carry, and I feel like that's going to be true moving forward. So, a lot of the thoughts I'm having right now aren't really processed. I was picking up my lunch, and, I saw the breaking news and decided to go ahead and drop a quick video for you guys. On the video this morning, I said I was going to be live tonight, but it's not going to work out with other plans. So I will be live this weekend, probably Saturday. So keep an eye out for me. Like always, I love you, nation. I'll catch you on the next one.